motherfuckers. There's gonna be a shit ton of
Yeah.
spoilers. But let's
Well,
let's get right into it.
we're not saying leave. We're saying pause, watch the film, then come back and watch the rest of this podcast. That's what we're saying.
Exactly. That's what the fuck we saying.
All right, man. Go ahead.
Uh, I had to burp or some shit, man. That was crazy.
Baby, go above, man.
Had to let the baby out of my body. Anyway, Civil War review. First off, we're gonna talk about our anticipation for this film. Cause everybody anticipates films. Trailers come out, 3 trailers come out, about 3 of them, and just people just anticipating like, oh, what's gonna happen next? When the film gonna drop? What the film gonna be about actually? How did you feel about the film before actually seeing the film? What was your hype like for this film?
It was pretty high, man. Like, I mean, before the film even started, while I was in the fair, I questioned whether I wanted to see the movie. Do you know what I mean? Because I was anticipating it so much. And,
The fuck?
do you know what I mean? Because it was just like, do I really want to see this? Because what I think this film's going to be like might not be what I want this film, what this film actually is. Do you know what I
Okay,
mean?
I see what you're saying.
But yeah, really, what I thought before all of this is that all the promotional stuff that they put out was great. Like, it looked so good. It was everything I wanted to see. Before watching the film, I knew it wasn't gonna be like the comic book or anything. I knew it would like have like it would nod its head to like the comic book and stuff. It was very much different in what it was doing because you know the MCU is its own universe and stuff.
Uh
But but yeah, like I liked the promotion. I kind of fell for the promotion. You know how they were getting people to choose the team and stuff. I'd be either Team Iron Man and Team Captain America. I was very much about being Team Captain America and stuff. And I was very much ready to kind of hate on everything that Tony had to say during the course of that movie.
huh. Hey, hold up, man, motherfucker, hold up. I just say your anticipation. Don't give us no
Yeah, yeah,
goddamn
yeah.
synopsis.
No, that's all I was gonna say. Like
Okay.
all I'm saying is, before I watched the movie, I hated on Tony. I did not want him. I didn't think he was right at all.
Okay. Okay. Well, as far as my anticipation for the film, man, yeah, I was. This was one of the films that I wanted. This is probably at the number one spot as far as the films I most wanted to see this year. Before I saw that Nat Turner film, I was like, oh, okay, this one right here is what I want to see. I think Suicide Squad might be third or whatever the fuck. But
Mm.
yeah, I was anticipating this film a lot because I mean I've seen other films. And I fuck with all of those films except Thor. Thor is shit to me. I hate fucking Thor.
Wait. Do you hate the character or the movies?
I hate the fucking movies.
I mean, I understand that. Like the first four was pretty good in my opinion, but the second one was just kind of eh. You know what I mean, like
Yeah, so I'm excited. I was excited off the bat knowing that sorry ass Chris Hemsworth bitch ass ain't in this film. 'Cause I don't fuck with him like that. I just don't
I
think
mean,
he's good.
I would say that the only thing that Chris Hemsworth is good at playing is Thor. You know what I mean? Like if you see him in any of the movies he's in, it's like he's playing a bootleg version of Thor. Like if Thor was on a boat, if Thor was a huntsman. You know what I mean? Like that's pretty much what he's
Yeah.
playing in every movie.
I
Like he's
mean,
playing.
I mean, he is cute and all, and kind of sexy and all and shit like that. You ever seen him take his shirt off?
His words, not mine.
You seen him
I'm not
take his shirt
involved.
off? You ever seen Chris Hemsworth naked?
In Thor, yes,
It's
apparently.
beautiful, man. It's beautiful. But I mean, that's all he good for. He like a fucking mannequin and shit. Like I just
He
feel like he
he he
don't
he is the nigga version
have no
of a Barbie
charisma.
doll. That's what he is. He's just visually like he's supposed to look good, but that's about it.
Yeah. Other than
But
that,
I do think he's talented though. I do think he's good at playing the role. I couldn't really imagine anyone else playing Ford to be honest. He's just got the look,
nah,
and
nah. You can't imagine it because you ain't fucking think about anybody else playing Thor.
yeah, and I don't want to think about anyone else playing Ford.
But yeah, as far as the character go, man, he kind of flat like the
Wait.
Budapest Superman.
Why are we moving into a Ford discussion? Let's go
Man,
back to Civil
Thor
War.
ain't even fucking in the movie. This is my anticipation of the film. Still, it's
Right.
not it's not even cutting in on
But
any other
okay,
discussion.
since you're talking about that, like, how do you feel about Hulk not being involved in this movie?
Hulk. See, it would have been if Hulk would have just disrupt the whole film. It wouldn't have flowed well with Hulk in there because Hulk is you can't control him, and if he on anybody's side, he probably would have killed the person he faced.
That's
So
exactly what it is. Yeah. There's not
So it's
really a
just
war anymore. It's like completely one-sided.
yeah, and fucking Thor same way. He's too strong to be on the side. They purposely took the motherfuckers out because they are too OP to fit in to what's going on here.
Definitely. I mean, but to be fair, like, so it's kind of Scarlet Witch, but that's for another discussion.
No, Scarlet Witch ain't fully developed yet.
But she's still strong as fuck.
Yeah, she is strong. She's strong. I mean, but yeah, all the characters pretty much except for Cap and Iron Man, the rest of them aren't really there yet. They still got things to improve upon. I think. I don't know.
I
It
mean, I
just
think Black Panther is. But anyway, let's move on.
because like that nigga has mystics and fucking he got all types of fucking powers. But anyway, let's move on to now we're gonna talk about actually seeing the film, viewing it, our viewing experience. And since you went first last time, I'm gonna go first this time. I was gonna say fucking and just jump right over you, Mo. Fuck you, nigga. But
So on my dick.
as far as viewing the film, man, I just I didn't have much money. I spent my whole check on rent and shit. I had like $10
Mm-hmm.
left, and I
This
ain't
nigga
had
had
that
to
much
cook his own
gas in my.
popcorn at home.
Man, you
Continue.
gonna shut your ass up. I didn't have no gas in my car, so I had to drive through the theater, you know, with $2 worth of tank of gas. And I did that just for Civil War. I had to do that. Had to risk not making it back home. You know, what I'm saying, just to see this film, and that's what I did. Drove all the way up to the theater, saw it. I didn't have no companion, I just because I
No,
had to
no,
go
no,
work.
no Muhammad this time, man.
No, Muhammad. Yeah, I mean, I'm out of school now. I didn't see Muhammad there, man.
That nigga Muhammad was was getting was getting his dick rubbed by some other niggas popcorn.
He caught the matinee, man. I was early. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I just went in there and watched it, man. A couple people were there. Actually, no, it was more than a couple of people. I was surprised to see how many people were there because this was early in the morning. It was like fucking 10 o'clock. I went real early and shit, and there was a good amount of people there. So I mean, this film gonna make a lot of money. But yeah, I went in there and was watching it. And there was something wrong with the copy of the movie they showed us. Cause I don't know if this. Ask me if this is what. Cause ask me if this is something that you've seen. Cause I think this was. I really do believe there's something wrong with the copy that we had.
Okay.
Cause when the first couple of fight scenes looked like they were sped up.
Oh yeah, that's probably a problem with yours, man. Like the fight scenes weren't sped up. Are you talking about like the beginning fight scene, like the one in Africa?
Yeah, like it looked like somebody pressed fast forward and shit, and they were moving like
Yeah,
weirdly, awkwardly fast. I was like, huh?
I think they messed up. Then I think the only person that really moves as fast as that is probably Captain America. But
Or so
nah,
you didn't see that in part of your version, like the.
nah, I didn't see any problems with mine.
Yeah, so it's probably was someone was like, cause I was man, like, what the fuck is this? This shit look like, cause if you see the film, if you see the fight scene sped up, it looks weird and it looks like on some Power Ranger shit, though. It don't really look, it ain't as realistic. It look like some fucking cartoon VR trooper Beetlejuice fucking Power Ranger shit, though. It just didn't look right. So I was mad about it. I was like, wait. Because right off the bat, I had a nasty taste in my mouth about the film. I was like, is this my copy or is these niggas really speed up the fight scenes?
That's the gayest shit I've heard all day. This thing had a nasty taste in his mouth. I
Yeah,
continue.
man, this is nasty, disgusting taste. But I assumed that we had a bad copy, and I was sort of mad that nobody in the theater said anything like, "Hey, motherfucker, put the shit back on regular speed, bitch." Because they were talking fast. I was like, "What the fuck is this shit?" Just ruined the first half of the movie for me. Whoever the fuck that bitch ass projector was,
I have a
projector person,
question. Did
huh?
it just affect that fight scene, or was it the dialogue as well? Like, were they speaking faster?
Yeah,
Oh no, I can't even. They really ruined your cinema experience, man.
yes they did, but it stopped after a while. Somebody must have accidentally hit the but they probably was fucking in the projection room or
I
something. Like
know.
something happened, like I was like, what the fuck is this shit? Ain't nobody else said anything. I was the only motherfucker that wouldn't. That somebody people probably noticed. They just didn't say shit. But anyway,
Mm.
I think it was like, and it was the Bucky fights. It was some good ass fight scenes that we were sped on. Like, damn, like why the fuck?
Oh wait! They sped up the one where like Tony walks in with like the hand and shit, and just like he's fighting Steve. You talk about that one? The one in the
No, no,
cafeteria.
no, no, no. The one where Black Panther first makes contact with Bucky.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. You mean the chase scene, right?
Yeah, the chase scene, and
Oh,
then
that shit was dope.
yeah, like all them scenes, I could tell them scenes was dope, but whoever was running the projector fucked the shit up for me, man. Now I gotta go see the film again and shit, which is gonna be like in a couple of weeks when I get my check again.
Oh,
But
for real, you gonna watch it again?
probably because I mean they ruined the fucking fight scenes.
Yeah, like those fight scenes were amazing, man. Look, tell me this. Please tell me that the film went back to regular speed before the airport fight.
Oh yeah, it went airport
Okay,
fight was great.
because if you'd missed that and that was sped up, like you have to you have to go back and ask for your money at that point.
Oh yeah, they fucked like I was you know, I don't was it the whole because I'm trying to figure out if they were talking fast too because it I don't know because I can't really remember, but I didn't like how the shit was sped up. I'm happy. I'm glad that it was just my copy of the fucking film. Cause other than that, I didn't really have any complaints during the viewing of the film. I thought the pacing was good. You know, I thought everything was gravy so far, and then that was pretty much my
Hmm.
movie watching experience. What about you?
I mean, I got the film like the UK got the film a while ago, man. Like I think I seen it 2 weeks ago, and it's like I saw it at a midnight screening with my brother. Cause like I don't really talk to that nigga
His
that
name
much, but like
Muhammad.
nah, I'm not gonna tell you his name. But like
Your
I
name
don't
Muhammad.
no, my name is Mo, as far as you know. Anyway,
Your name
my thing is
Muhammad.
this: like we don't really talk so about Muhammad, man. I ain't trying to get my look,
What you
look. This is the
talking
thing with Bush, man. Like he stroked one Muhammad's dick, and now he trying to stroke everyone's. Like, leave me alone, man. Leave me alone,
about?
Bush.
Nah, man, chill. Continue, man. Continue.
Yeah, all right. So midnight screening and everything. With my brother, don't really talk to that nigga as much as I should, but we do have this thing where we watch every Marvel movie together. So I went and took him to the movie. Go like went to the concession stand, got some popcorn, got a drink. That shit was expensive as fuck for no reason, because you know how the
Bro,
concession
that
stand
shit's
be.
stupid expensive. I'm like, goddamn,
I
nigga,
know,
twenty
right? Like,
dollars for some chili
is
dogs.
I'm like, is my
The fuck,
popcorn covered with gold? Like, what's happening? You know what I'm saying? It's
nigga,
just like, what is coming with that popcorn that makes it this
nigga charge
expensive?
you a 2 cent for each individual popcorn in the fucking bag, bitch. Why is
I
it
know,
so high,
right?
man?
It's crazy as shit. Like, and like really, my thing was it's a standard movie experience. I walked in, they started playing trailers. Of course, they played. I got to see the Doctor Strange trailer like play at the beginning and stuff. I think they played the Suicide Squad trailer. They just played a whole bunch of cool trailers for
I
movies I'm
thought,
probably
see,
gonna end up seeing.
I thought I was gonna see the Nat Turner trailer. I was in a theater full of white people. I was about to feel uncomfortable, man. Like, damn, all these white people here, they might attack me.
I know,
Yeah.
right? I mean, like the only time they would play something like that, like I remember one time they played like I think they might have played like a biopic story about like discrimination against black people and stuff, and then right after that, to kind of cover up, they played that Free State of Jones, like a
Uh,
trailer, and I'm just like,
oh,
of course you have to play a trailer of a
oh,
white
that I
man saving
fucking
black
yeah,
people.
I hate that. I saw that same trailer, that Free State. Oh, that shit made me mad watching that shit, man. Yeah, get the fuck out of here with
I
that
know,
shit.
right? But yeah, as far as my initial experience, I kind of described it in the beginning. Like my whole thing was, I kind of was like kind of worried about seeing the film because of how hyped I was for it. It was just like this film is gonna be. It has shown like only the amazing stuff, and I'd be real disappointed if this movie doesn't end up living up to like the promotional footage that they've released, the TV spots, the trailers, everything that's led up to this movie. You know what I mean?
Uh
And
huh.
I was all like, I was also kind of worried that it would just end up being an Avengers movie instead of actually ending Captain America's trilogy. Because this, as far as we know, this is his last movie. You know what I mean?
Captain America's last movie.
Because it's his trilogy. You know what I mean? Like, and like, I think the kind of thing that they're trying to do is go up to three, and then see if anyone's ever willing to do anymore. But like, really, right now they're like off this trilogy's ended, and they're gonna try and focus on like other things like Guardians of the Galaxy, Ant Man, like the new properties.
Oh, okay, yeah, true.
But like my whole thing is, it's like obviously like Chris Evans said some stuff about him not necessarily wanting to play Captain America for much longer after his contract's done. And it's just like this might very well be the last Captain America movie we get, and I'll be a little bit disappointed if it ends up just being an Avengers movie. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's cool to be the last Captain America film for me, cause they only, I mean, it's, I don't, we don't need no more.
Oh no, no, but you see what I'm saying? Like I mean that's what I thought before I saw the film. Like my movie going experience. Like
Okay.
that's what I mean. Like my thoughts were I don't want this to just be an Avengers movie as much as I want to see one. But at the same time, I wanted it to be a bad movie than Age of Ultron because that left me a little bit disappointed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like Ultron should have been better.
As a villain and as a movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I really have to say. My brother was a little bit less excited than me, but we both had the same thought. We
Your
want to see.
brother's a bitch, man.
Shut up, nigga. Me and him were both like we need to. Yeah, we want to see Spider Man. That's the reason we're here. And
Okay.
uh and yeah, that's really what we thought.
All
Yep.
right. So let's get into the overall impressions after seeing the film. Why don't you go first?
Wait. After I saw the film,
Yeah, overall thoughts of the film.
my last thought was that was the best. That was probably the best Marvel movie I've ever seen in my life. Like Spider Man was perfect. That's the best on screen Spider Man we've ever seen. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
Black Panther was amazing. Do you know what I mean? Like I want to see a Black Panther movie now more than I wanted to see it before. Like it just like everything in my head just kind of clicked. It's like, damn, I knew it would be a good movie because Ryan Coogler was directing it, but now Ryan Coogler is directing a movie with this Black Panther with Chadwick Boseman. I got it played this role
Yeah,
so well in this movie,
that nigga
and
accent was on point, man.
oh my god! You know why it was on point? He filmed like he did this indie movie way back when, right? Where he had to play a South African nigga, and then he invented the accent. He blended the South African voice with a little bit of something else, and then he kind of created his own Wakandan accent. It was really cool,
Okay.
and like the fact that I respect him, like for the fact that as an actor he took it upon
Oh yeah,
himself
respect.
to create an accent. You know what I mean? Like
They said he was a part of designing some of the way T'Challa fights too. So
yeah, yeah, like the fingers they created an entirely new sort of martial art, like just for Wakanda. You know what I mean?
uh huh.
Like he was fighting like no one I'd ever seen. You know what I mean? Like this nigga would be flipping and kicking. It was ridiculous. You know what I mean? And the thing is, another interesting. I don't want to get too deep into the Black Panther, but like, you know what I mean. But like after I saw the movie, it was just I had so many thoughts. I was like, yeah, I was kind of wrong, man. Like Tony, I like Tony a lot more than I give him credit for. Like I agreed with a lot of the stuff that he said, but I was still kind of Team Cap by the end of the movie.
I
And
mean, we gonna talk about individual characters. Just give us how you feel about the overall film.
I feel like the movie was great, man. Like I feel like my thoughts of the movie are this is the best Marvel movie that they've made, but it's not necessarily the best movie that they've made. If that makes sense.
See, I don't know, man, because my overall thoughts is this probably is the best movie they ever made thus far. It's probably one of the best superhero films. Like
Oh, I 100% agree with that.
it actually feels like a superhero film. And like Dark Knight wasn't like really a superhero film to
No,
me.
that's not what I mean, man. Like when I say it's definitely the best Marvel movie that they've made. I don't mean like it's one of the best movies. Like it's only good by Marvel standards. I don't mean it like that. What I mean is that if anyone's trying to watch a movie for the Marvel experience, I will recommend this movie first and foremost. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and not to downplay or anything. I'm not just gonna say, oh, it's just a Marvel movie. Like, it's extremely well written. The action is extremely well choreographed. The story does move at a reasonable pace. The film does a good job of balancing so many different characters. You know what I mean? Like, it is a very good film per se, but it's not necessarily the best movie. Like, it's not a movie I can just hand to someone and be like, even if you're not a Marvel fan, you'll love this movie. Do you know what I mean? You have to like Marvel characters to some extent to enjoy this movie. That's why I say it's the best Marvel movie. Do you know what I mean? But like
Well,
for example, a film like Winter Soldier, right? That still believe is their best film, their best movie. Like that thing does not necessarily need
nah,
anything for you
I
to watch it.
disagree. I
You look,
disagree.
you can disagree if you want. It's just a fact. You know what I mean?
It's not no goddamn fact, man. I don't. Winter Soldier was cool, man. It was cool. I don't know why people fuck with that film so much. It was a good film, but I feel like this movie right here had everything that film had, and then some, man.
I mean, like that goes back to what I said before. Like it has a lot of things that Winter Soldier doesn't, but that's also why it's a bad Marvel movie. You know what I mean? All of the stuff that this movie has that Winter Soldier doesn't is great from a Marvel fan standpoint. You know what I mean? Like, oh, they have Spider Man and they have Black Panther and they have, you know what I mean? Like, it's
No,
good
I
from
don't.
a.
I don't just mean fucking characters. I just mean the comedy, the action sequences, the drama, the tension. Everything to me was not way but superior to the Winter Soldier film to me.
Oh,
So
I mean, like that's perfectly reasonable. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say you're wrong or anything, because it's like, yeah, this movie was great. I'm not gonna deny that. If you believe this is the best movie they've made, you're not wrong. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna say you're incorrect. But like, I personally feel that as a film, Winter Soldier is so clean cut in the way that they made it. It's like it didn't necessarily require much setup. Like, you know what I mean? It was. Do you know what I mean? Like the thing with this movie was there was a good half an hour to 40 minutes of them setting up everything they needed for this movie to become what it became. There was a clear line, you know, like when Spider Man's first introduced and stuff. That is the moment the film starts becoming incredibly fun and great and everything. Everything before that was just kind of lead up. Do you know what I mean?
I
Like it
mean,
was.
but it was lead up that worked. Like, cause I mean, film opens up with a great action sequence. Then there's a couple of moments of them debating whether or not what to do and how to figure out a way to solve the situation. But then there's another fight sequence, and then there's explosions, and then like everything was perfectly paced to me. There was not a lull in this film to me.
Oh, I don't agree with. I don't disagree with that. Oh, this movie was very well made. I feel as if, but my thing is that I felt a clear moment where the film became a lot better. Like I felt a clear moment where the film went from being this very interesting film about conflicting ideologies and whether the Avengers should do this or who is right and who is wrong, to a point where the film just became very, 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 very fun. You know what I mean? It became a Marvel
Yeah.
movie, if you get what I mean. Like that's what I mean. As soon as Spider Man appears and everything after that, it's a Marvel movie. Do you know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, yeah.
Like in the way that Avengers 1 is a Marvel movie, but not in the way that Avengers 2 is, if you know what I mean. Like it feels organic. It feels like really good. Like these characters interacting make moments. Like for example, like Black Widow and Hawkeye fighting. Do you know what I'm saying? And then being like still
Oh, your mic fucking
friends.
up.
Like
But
those are Marvel
hey, hold up, your shit fucking up a little bit.
moments.
Let this shit marinate. Let this shit cook a little bit. All right, continue.
Hello? Yeah, yeah. My thing is this: like, it was full of Marvel movie moments. You know what I'm saying?
Uh huh.
Like, those make great Marvel movies. But like, when I say Winter Soldier is a bad movie per se, I mean that it's just the narrative, the way that they told the story, the way that they direct every moment of that film. Kind of just, it was just a step up from the last scene and the last scene and the last scene. And just, I'm not saying Civil War didn't do that, but I just personally feel that way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying anyone's wrong. If someone tells me that Civil War is the best movie Marvel's made, sure thing, man. I'm not gonna necessarily tell you you're wrong. You know what I mean? I might disagree with you, but that's about it.
See, I mean, I mean, you can keep the Winter Soldiers better. Like I heard somebody else say that before, but
Oh no,
I just
don't
don't
get
see
me
it.
wrong. Don't get me wrong. I like Civil War more than Winter Soldier. I just think Winter Soldier's better.
Well, how can you like it more and then say something is better than it?
Like here's the thing. It's the same way with this. I think Titanic is a boring ass movie, but I still know it's a great film. You see what I'm saying?
Nah, man. If something is boring to me, I don't say it's a great film.
Yeah, I don't work that way. I like to detach my personal feelings from like the quality of something. Do you know what I mean?
How did that don't even make sense? How you can detach your personal feelings from the quality of something?
Because like let me put it this way. I could watch something and acknowledge that it's good, but just like I'm not just gonna like there has to be something else for me to like it. And it can not have that thing that makes me like it and it can still be a good piece of work. Do you know what I mean? Like, for example, let me put it this way. I can recognize when something's a good piece of poetry, but I don't like poetry. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna like that poem because I'm not a fan of poetry. But I can acknowledge that there's good poetry. You know, so you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I see what you're saying, but I don't think Winter Soldier was that far removed from the rest of the Marvel films.
It was removed. It was very. It was integral to like to the universe and stuff. Like, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying as a movie, just watch it. Like, it has a beginning, middle, end, and just kind of like it didn't necessarily have a hey, watch the next movie, guys, kind of ending. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Uh huh.
Civil War did have that ending where it's just like the letter, and it's just like, oh yeah, if you ever need me, Tony, I'm gonna be here, bro. And it's like I had the end credit, and it's just like, yeah, Spider Man, man, watch Spider Man Homecoming. You know what I'm saying? Like it
Yeah.
had that, and it's just kind of like, you know what I'm saying? It's very much a Marvel movie. You know what I mean? And
I
Winter
don't
Soldier,
see. I don't know what that means. You keep saying it's a Marvel movie. I don't know what that means. Like
uh,
it's a comic book film. You saying?
it's a very much a comic book film, and I love comic book films. Do not get me wrong. I love comic book films. I love comic books, and I prefer Civil War to Winter Soldier, but Winter Soldier is the better movie in my opinion.
I see. I don't. Well, we gonna move on, but I don't want to talk about this no more. But I just don't see. I don't. Like I don't. I just don't see it. But let's go on the individual characters. Let's go. Let's talk
Okay.
about the characters. And we're gonna first start off with the two major characters. We're gonna start off with Captain America first, though. What are your
All right.
thoughts on Captain America? What are your thoughts on Captain America in this film? Go.
In this film or in general?
No, in this film. Just in this film.
Okay, so Captain America's kind of always been my favorite character in the MCU, and in this movie that hasn't really changed. You know what I mean? He's taken up the leadership position. That wasn't even a like, and the interesting thing about the movie is, if you remember, like what I said before, sometimes it's a Captain America movie, sometimes it's an Iron Man movie, sometimes it's an Avengers movie, sometimes it's a Spider Man movie. But like for the most part, you still feel like you're watching a Captain America movie because even though the
True.
film tries to make you understand why Tony might be right, and it doesn't, and it tries not to disappoint people that went to that movie to see Iron Man do Iron Man stuff, it is very much a Captain America movie. I feel as if the film definitely followed him. I thought he kind like there was some really nice callbacks to like the older movies and stuff. Like for example, it was in the trailer, but it was even cooler when it was in the movie. Like where he does that thing where he's like, "I can do this all day," while he's fighting Tony.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like that's a callback to the first Captain America movie and everything. And it's really nice, man. Like I feel as if this is a nice way to kind of end his character arc. Even though it will carry on through this. Do you know what I mean?
Uh huh.
And remember how when I said I was scared that this was just gonna be an Avengers movie and kind of throw away the fact that this is cap free,
Yeah.
like out of the window and stuff. When I watched the movie, I didn't feel like that anymore. It was definitely a Captain America movie, even though it felt like all these other movies at the same time. But the focus was Captain America and his story arc with Bucky. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I felt like while one flaw in the film I would say is that I never really felt like Bucky and Captain America were really that close. I felt like
Oh,
they didn't build it as much as they should have in the other
mm,
movies. That's why I'm like. That's why I don't really fuck with. Like I like Winter Soldier, but I don't put it on this high ass pedestal because I feel like that was a major flaw in that film, and it just sort of moves on over to this one. I just didn't really get their relationship and see it for like I didn't understand why he went through all that trouble just for this one person. Like I felt like he had better
mm.
chemistry with the Falcon than he did with Bucky.
I mean, that's because like you would need to watch Captain America 1 for that. But like, I don't want to be that guy to say that. But anyway,
I
like
mean, why would you assume I didn't watch it?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like just like if someone had like hypothetically someone that they only see in Winter Soldier and then just seeing Civil War, like and thought that was just their relationship and they'd be like, why would you go so far for that? I mean, like I feel as if the first Captain America kind of cements why he would do this. Like the best way to put it is that before he had the super soldier like serum and everything, and he was getting beaten up. The only guy that would save him would be Bucky. The only person that was his friend, like he was his role model. Do you know what I mean? He looked up to him. And then by the like near the end of that movie, he's fighting alongside that dude. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. And like they were pretty much brothers. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
and
that's
also
understandable.
and look at it from Captain America's perspective. Like he's a man that's completely been thrown out of time. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
In the middle of that movie, the woman he loved is an old lady and she dies. Do you know what I mean? She that like you see what happened with the casket? Like she gonna bury her.
Agent Peggy Carter find
Whatever.
that.
Yeah, yeah. So can you hear me now?
Yeah, you kind of sound like the Cookie Monster.
You hear me now?
Yeah, you good. Go ahead.
All right. So yeah, like the woman he loved died. You know what I'm saying? And it's like imagine all of that happens and then you're like, wait a second. My best friend in the entire world is alive. You know what I'm saying? Like
Uh huh.
that's kind of why he's doing all this. It's not just oh he's just my friend. I need to save him. Man. It's like this is just pretty much like his own blood almost. Do you know what I mean? It's like this is a man that he went to war with. This is a man that defended him before he even had power, and he was there the day he died. Do you know what I mean? And it's like to find out that that guy is still alive after all of these years, and
Yeah,
realize that
I mean, that's all cool and everything, but when they on screen together, I don't really feel that shit. I mean, they had to go, they had to do that thing where every time they would appear together, they would tell these little stories about how they were when they were children, and I felt like I felt like while those contributed to helping us understand the relationship, it didn't really. I still couldn't see it when them two were on. I just I couldn't see it.
all right, I get that, but like I feel like it was really well done, man. Like that's just how I personally feel.
I
Like
mean, it wasn't bad. I mean, I just
I
felt
mean,
like
here's the thing. Like look, say what you want about it feeling like disingenuous, and it doesn't necessarily feel like it was set up really well, or that the interactions between them didn't feel like they knew each other as long as the film is saying they did, and all of that. But like when that moment where he kisses Sharon Carter and everything, do you remember that? And then like you see Bucky and like Falcon in the car giving him that my nigga look.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
but again, that was more so because of Falcon, but which by the way, he had great comedic timing in this film. But
Oh, but no, he like Anthony Mackie has great comedic timing in life. Do you remember that shit with the quail? Do you remember that?
oh yeah,
That nigga is funny naturally, and I feel like he's just playing himself in that movie.
but
But yeah,
let me go into my thoughts on You had any more thoughts on Captain America?
it's just like what I said before. It's just an interesting and very good kind of closing off to a trilogy, and I feel as if his character arc has kind of been finalized, at
Okay.
least as far as it needs to go in this trilogy.
Man, I felt like this film really showcased his leadership, cause he was actually more so than Tony. Tony had a bunch of powerful people along his side. I mean, you sort of seen that the teamwork that Tony had, but I felt like Captain America was really orchestrating things and telling people to do this and that, and you sort of see a lot of that in the first sequences when they in Africa trying to get this one criminal, and then it sort of goes on and it progresses and you just see his leadership and I sort of sided with him and I saw what he was saying about if we let them have this one thing then they'll take something else and
Mm,
they're
exactly.
really in control of us and if we want to do something they'll step in and say we can't do it and he felt and I sort of agree with him the best it was better in their hands because they were the superpower
The
people.
safest hands are still on, like you said.
Yes, yes. So I mean, I like Captain America in this film because before I didn't really fuck with Captain America. I just he was sort of on that Superman thing. It was like I just didn't see it for him. But this film really made me like Captain America, especially the fight sequences with him in it. Like he was really
Mm.
he was going ham on some shit, and
Oh
he was
yeah, you
killing
know that
people.
beginning scene where it's
I mean, he
like
wasn't
just like
actually killing people, but he was beating people ass.
that beginning scene where it's like just like we practiced. And then she froze him through the window. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah,
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 like that was cool. And like for example, like even that fight with like Captain America, like you know what I mean, with the shield and shit. That was so
Oh
cool.
yeah. The
Like he put
last
the
fight
shield,
scene.
yeah, shield for the chest. Remember that?
I mean, and I loved it because you could tell he was really conflicted throughout the whole entire film. He didn't
Mm,
he had his own he was stern on his position, but you can sort of see him falter and be confused at certain points, like not exactly knowing what to do, but still being determined to save his friend, like despite that. So I mean, I fuck with it. Captain America was real good. He sort of holds the film together. He's like the heart of the film, the centerpiece, and that's what made it feel like a Captain America film but while still being a Civil War film. So,
Mm.
but let's move on to Iron Man, Tony Stark. I'll let you have that one first.
I didn't know Iron Man was gonna be in the film as much as he was. He was pretty much a secondary character. Like he was a main character, really. Like the thing that they did with him is that they give him a character arc. They kind of finalized his own personal arc too, which was
Oh
really good.
yeah, yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like they improved his character for this film. Like that's
See,
why I said this is almost an Iron Man film at
see
some
now,
points. It's
now,
like
now I see why they were those. They had the two biggest pictures on the poster, man. It's like,
And it's like it was really interesting to see them do that because it's like it almost felt like a buddy film to an extent, even though they kind of hate each other throughout this movie.
yeah.
Because it's like it bounces between one nigga and another nigga, and it's just like this movie genuinely cares about like evolving Tony's character just as much as like it's trying to evolve Steve's character. You know what I mean? It's really interesting. And my thing with Tony is that when you just say out loud all of the times he's messed up, like, oh, you created Ultron, oh, you did this, you tried to create Vision and didn't know if he was gonna be good. You say all this stuff out loud, he sounds like a complete dickhole. Do you know what I mean? But like,
yeah.
but as soon as you see that nigga to Robert Downey Jr. start playing that character, like he has so much charisma that you can't help but like him. And I feel like he stepped up his game in this movie, man.
Oh
Like I feel
yeah.
as if he was really good in this. Did you saw that scene where he had like the hologram of himself and he was playing like a younger version of himself and his
Oh yeah,
parents
yeah,
walked in.
yeah.
That was really well done. That was crazy. Like that was cool. And really my thing is that like I really liked how like the whole thing with Robert Downey Jr. was interacting with like Tom Holland, Spider Man, and everything. That was really interesting, and I feel as if anyone trying to talk to Robert Downey Jr. usually has a really interesting way of doing it. Do you know what I mean? Like I really like him as an actor. I really like the what he brought to the role, and I feel as if Iron Man had a really interesting arc to this, finding out like what happened to his parents, and you know what I mean, finding out the Bucky was behind it,
Oh
and kind of.
yeah.
And it's interesting that at points the film likes to paint Tony as the villain, but it's like at that very end, was Steve the villain? That's the question you start asking yourself.
Oh
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah. Like I never, I never really felt like anybody was in the wrong. Like I never felt like one person was wrong over the other. I feel like they both had
Yeah,
good points.
yeah,
So
yeah. And like what I was saying before, like I was fully prepared to be into this movie, being like, yeah, fuck Tony. But it's like I watched it and I'm like, no, this man has legitimate points. I kind of agree with some of the stuff that he's saying. You know what I mean? But you see what I'm saying? Like he had legitimate points. There was no right or wrong at that point. Anybody could say that anybody won at the end of that movie. You know what I'm saying? Like it was
yeah,
really well written.
and
So yeah, that's how I felt.
you can sort of see him concede a little bit to Captain America. He was trying to bring him over. He didn't really want to have that big ass brawl at the airport, and when he went to go talk to to Falcon while he was in prison or whatever the fuck, like he was
Yeah,
really going there to help Captain America do what he had to do, but just finding out that fucking Bucky killed his parents like really
yeah,
turned
yeah.
shit the wrong way.
I mean, on a lighter tone, like I remember when he went into that cell, like into the prison, and like you know how all of Team Cap was in like cells, they had like
Oh
Falcon in the cell,
yeah, yeah.
and then like Ant Man is like, yeah, Pym told me never to trust the Stark, and then Tony turns around and is like, who are you? Like, it's just like those are the type of
uh,
things. That, also, like this film is really funny. You know what I mean? Like
oh
even
yeah, yeah.
for a film as serious as it is, it has time for jokes, and it's not like forced humor or anything. Like it found a place for it to
Man,
be funny.
but you know
You
where
know what I
that
mean?
shit came from, man. The Russo brothers wrote a bunch of episodes of Community, so they
Oh
know
yeah,
comedy.
they know comedy. You know what I
So
mean? Like
yeah.
they're really good at what they do, and it's like whatever they're doing right now. I'm like, let me just say this: I love this movie so much as just a piece of entertainment. But think about it for a second. After this movie, can you not imagine? Like, can you imagine them doing an Avengers movie? It's gonna be good. It's gonna be
Oh
really
yeah,
good.
easily.
Yeah, and now they're going to be doing part one and part two, and I'm excited for that. You know what I mean? And they obviously prove they know how to handle Iron Man's character just as well as they know how to handle Captain America.
Like them motherfuckers had the ratios down to a science. Like they gave us just enough for every single character in this film. Like it's just like damn.
They fulfilled to the promise. You know what I mean? Like they promised us the best damn superhero movie we would get, and like, thank you, man. Like you did a good job. You know what I mean? Like you did a good job. Like you lived up to it.
But let me get on Captain America. Not Captain America, but Iron Man
Iron
right
Man,
quick.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, like you said, his acting was it was he was great in this film, man. Like I didn't think he could take it a step further, but he really did after after that failure that was the Iron Man 3 film. Like people didn't like that film. It was alright to me, but it wasn't the best superhero film. You know what I'm saying? And he really improved. Like he was you could sort of see him going crazy and breaking down like and I like how people challenged him. Like when the lady in the after the speech he had at the event, the conference, whatever, and the lady gives him a picture of her dead son. I love those elements.
Oh, yo, man, that shit hit me in the soul, man. Like when she was just like, oh yeah, he was a good kid. He went to college. Like he was doing this charity work at Sokovia. Then a building fell on top of him. I was like, that got dark really quick.
Oh yeah, I was like damn. Like I thought she was just there chilling, and she was
Yeah,
she and the way they set that shit up, like
yeah.
I fucking love that scene, man.
And plus, that bitch has a talent for ruining the nigga's day. That nigga just
Oh
wanted to
yeah.
get, just wanted to take that elevator and just be on, just be on with his damn business.
Oh
And
yeah.
and then she's just like, "Oh yeah, you killed my son, you bitch." And he's like, "Damn, I killed her son, and I'm a bitch." Like that's pretty much what he took out,
With
man.
that goddamn fucking image or film. I mean, not film, but photo. That goddamn stock photo image of a person.
I know, right?
That photo was too damn clean. Like, come on.
Yeah.
But
By the way, like the whole thing where it's like, "Oh, we need to be put in check." I'm like, "No, nigga, you need to be put in check.
so you
Killing
need to
niggas."
be you fucking shit up. But
I know.
I like the fact that he wasn't so mouthy this film.
Mm.
He like you can sort of see how stressed he was because he wasn't firing back like he usually is. He wasn't much of an asshole. He was like a slight asshole. He wasn't
He
that
came
full on
peace.
asshole.
He wanted peace. He did not want to fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because he just felt the weight of the world on him and seeing all these people die and he knew it was his fault. He came to terms that it was his fault that these people died and he really wanted somebody to take control of him and like be in charge of what they did because he knows that he can't control himself and I love that I love that about Iron Man Stark this film.
Mm.
And and then when he recognized that Bucky killed his parents, the way his face was,
Oh
it's
yeah,
like,
the tone flipped. Like when
oh
it,
yeah, yeah, like
oh yo, you know when it gets real serious, where he looks at Steve and he's like, "Did you know about this?" And he's like, "Yes," and he's like, and then like Cap tries to explain himself and he punches him in the face.
like man, I love that shit, man. Like both these actors, man, they really killed on this film, man. They made this film what it
Yeah,
is.
the actors have definitely evolved along with the characters. They've become better at playing these roles, and like people keep saying that Robert Downey Jr. is the perfect Iron Man, but it's like somehow he manages to top like to get better and better as this MCU kind of grows in of itself.
Yeah,
And I
like
feel, yeah,
I,
yeah.
I feel like he became more than just an asshole. He just became a complete fucking character in this film. Like,
Yeah, definitely. Like he has a history now, and like we understand some of his motivations, and he's definitely developed beyond being that guy that's just a douchebag playboy. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like that's interesting, man. Yeah, he's like I can actually think of him as a genuine hero at this point because like in my mind, every time Tony wants something, I feel as if he has an agenda. But like it seems like he's a genuinely good person, and like where he is right now.
oh yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
He seems to be in a comfortable spot right now. Let's talk
Hmm.
about let's move on to the next character. Let's go directly into Spider Man.
Ooh, you want me to talk about this? Like
Yeah,
I've been
go
taking
ahead.
up the
Yeah,
entire over. You don't feel like starting off with it?
I mean I can start it off.
All right, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I didn't when they first mentioned that he was gonna be super young. I didn't like hearing that he was gonna be young because I couldn't picture. I didn't know what it was like to have a young Spider-Man because we never really seen a Spider-Man this young before on film. We've
Mm.
seen a sort of because in the cartoon he was in college and shit like that. We didn't really see him in high school really that much. And the Andrew Garfield, it was like a fucking 30-year-old man playing a teenager, so we didn't
and
really.
with Tobey Maguire was like a 40-year-old man that shaved his beard. Look, every time every time you watch that movie, all I hear is, "Can I take you to the prom, Mary Jane?" I'm just like, "No, you creepy nigga, you can't take her to the prom."
Paint that van a different color. uh,
Oh
yeah,
god,
but
like
like I just and he was just so fun. Like if I could use a word to describe him, he was a fun character. Like everything
yeah.
about him, he brought energy. He was just that type of character. He was talking while he was fighting, and he seemed like a teenager over his head, and I love that
hmm
about it.
And I mean, like, we know how I feel, but my question is, do you feel as if this is the best Spider-Man we've gotten so far?
I would have to see like because you can't really tell from I don't know. I mean he's close to that, but I feel like I need to see more of him because I mean I don't know. I would have to wait. I don't want to just say he's the best Spider-Man without with having because he was in there for a limited period of time.
But you think every scene he was in was great?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. True, most definitely.
Definitely. All right, you want me to talk about?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
All right, so how I feel about Spider Man? I feel as if Spider Man is perfect the way he did what they did him. Everything from the scene where like he walks home, and then like Tony's talking like sitting with Aunt May on the couch, and then that nigga looks at him and he's just like pretty much says he wants to help him with like a scholarship or whatever it is, and then they have the entire conversation about him being Spider Man. And he shows him like the footage, and like
Uh
I
huh.
like the fact that they show footage of him with like a homemade bootleg shitty costume and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was
And then.
great because they sort of showed his
hmm
origin story inside the
Yeah,
fucking film, like without.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they kind of explained the whole thing that was kind of bullshit about Spider-Man's origin to begin with, which was one day he just makes a suit that's as good a quality as, say, Captain America's and all these A-list heroes and stuff. But like, how could a broke kid from Queens afford to make a suit like that? And like, the film kind
Yeah,
of corrected that, where it's like, oh yeah, Tony gave him the new suit, but they didn't remove the fact that this guy is kind of
a
an up and
genius.
coming genius. Like
Yeah,
he made the web shooters. And like he's like Tony asked him who made this, and he's like I did. And like I like the fact that they clarified that this dude is broke, like broke and shit. Like that nigga,
yeah,
like he said when he met Tony, and he's like saying I'm gonna tell Aunt May. That nigga's like I was having a good day. I just found a used DVD player. And I was just like that. I was like,
that
damn, this nigga's.
motherfucker had that old ass Macintosh computer on his desk. I
Oh
was like, what? I was
god.
like, ew, nigga.
I thought two things. I'm like, first, you pick it up, like you pick it out the garbage, and second, I thought, wait a second, you still watching DVDs? Like, what's, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like
Yeah,
you really broke. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that
it's just like
motherfucker's poor.
this is struggle. But I like also, can we address the fact that Aunt May is looking good? Like, let me just say
Oh
that. Like,
yeah, it wasn't the old ass weak Aunt May. It was like yeah, I'd
uh-huh.
fuck shit out of Aunt May, man.
Yeah, I think they're trying to lead a Robert Downey, like not Robert Downey Jr., like Tony Stark and kind of Aunt May relationship, because it's like there was a movie with Robert Downey Jr. and I think her name is like Melissa Tomei, I believe. It was a romance film with them two in it. And they kind of have that sort of chemistry. Like they've kind of set up that like in other movies
Yeah,
and
and,
stuff.
and
So,
it sort of confirms, it validates that this Spider Man is young because Aunt May still doesn't really
oh
have
yeah,
grays in her head. Yeah.
and, and something that this film clarified is that having a young Spider-Man definitely adds something to the character. There's so much more that you can do. You know what I mean? Like when you have a character as young as this Spider-Man, you can do a thing where it's like he he looks up to the heroes that already exist in this universe. You know what I mean?
Uh huh.
And I love definitely some of the stuff that he says. Like first, like for example, when he said the whole thing about like what feels even worse than getting bullied every day I go to school is that for the last 6 months I've had the power to stop it, but I can't use any of these abilities at school. So I just have to get beat up exactly like I did before I got these powers,
Yeah.
knowing that I can stop it. But if I do, my life is never going to be the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's that
And
character development.
I love that. And what was really interesting is that even though he is on Iron Man's team, when they're kind of revealing Spider Man's ideals, it was very similar to Captain America. Like when Iron Man was talking to Spider Man, he said something like, "So you want to help with the little guys? So you want to stop the bullies?" And that sounds exactly like what Captain America wants to do. Do you know what I mean? He was
Yeah.
the little guy, and he wanted to stop the bullies.
Yeah, they
And
come from yeah. I mean, and they sort of nodded to that when the captain was like, "Where you from?" and he was like Queens, and he was like
ooh,
Brooklyn. Yeah,
that was so good. I love that scene so much. Like the whole thing with the like, and then like what's it called but he's leaving. He's like goodbye Brooklyn or something like that. He like it was really cool. Like I really like that relationship. You know what I mean? And I feel as if seeing him in Infinity War, which should go unheard, like he's most definitely gonna be in that movie. I
yeah.
think it's gonna be great. Oh, by the way, let me ask you this: are you excited for the new Spider-Man solo movie?
Oh no, now I am. Yeah.
Mm. Oh yeah, by the way, since we're talking about Spider Man anyway, like there was an end credit with Spider Man, like the end credit.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool. Like the Spider Man logo and everything.
Uh huh.
Yeah, it was cool. I enjoyed it. And yeah.
But yeah, yeah, Spider, and the way he fought. One thing I want to point out too, the way he fought was great. Like
Oh yeah.
his fight scenes were, yeah, he really put it
Yeah,
on. Yeah.
he got punked twice. Like I like the whole thing where they showed that he was cool. I remember when he lifted up the car. I think it was, and like
Oh yeah,
they
yeah.
showed that he was cool. But then he got punked twice. Like when he's fighting Ant Man and Ant Man smacks him like because he's giant and shit. You remember that?
Oh
And,
yeah.
the whole thing where like he's giving Winter Soldier and Falcon that work, and then Red Wing like the little Falcon droid shoots him out the window. You know what I'm saying? Like
Dog, that was one of the best fight. Yeah, that whole sequence of events was like crazy creative and good. Like
oh god,
it was the best, man.
I think it's just the fact that they could balance all of those characters fighting
Oh
at the
yeah,
exact same
yeah.
time.
Oh yeah, and you can sort of see the strength, the power scaling.
Yeah, yeah, it was amazing. Like I love how they started it, how they ended it, and pretty much like I like how the fact that they didn't show any, and I mean any of the footage in the trailers. Do you know what I mean there was nothing from that scene that we'd seen in the trailers? Like every trailer that we'd seen, they cut away as soon as you see them run at each other. Do you know what I mean?
I
Like you
mean,
never.
what's that? No, that was one. Remember the Black Panther kick into the crates? I think it was
Oh, I
like
think yeah.
that
Oh,
one
yeah.
scene that was on
Damn,
the airport.
yeah. You're right. You're right. Yeah, but we didn't know that, so
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. But yeah. Like, you have another character that you want to talk about?
Oh, we're
But
gonna talk about we're gonna talk about Black Panther next. Yeah, that character.
Wakanda.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Alright, so Black Panther, man. Like, I think we talked about it a little bit before. Like,
Uh huh.
Black Panther, without a doubt, has the best costume in the MCU.
The costume fire.
That costume is fire. I like I think like they were talking to him and like they had that whole thing where it's like that's vibranium, like there's vibranium weave, like pretty much the fabric is interwoven with vibranium. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And like there's that scene where he like the chase scene and then he turns around and like a helicopter's trying to shoot him. Like the
Yeah,
bullets are just
and them big ass
uh
bullets, them big ass helicopter bullets that can't
yeah.
pierce that shit. Yeah.
And like I don't know, sometimes whenever I see something in these Marvel movies, it makes me feel sad that like they don't have certain rights to other characters.
Oh yeah.
Like like when for example Black Panther when he released his claws, I'm like this universe would do such a good Wolverine. You know what I mean? Like when he
Oh
popped his
yeah.
claws,
Yeah.
and it was just really cool. And like what I was gonna say was like one thing that I didn't mention before was I'm really happy that what they did was he had a unique fighting style, but he kind of fought like a cat, if you know what I mean. Like he
Oh
was
yeah, yeah,
moving,
yeah. Definitely seen that.
he was moving like a jaguar, like or a panther per se.
Hey, he was
Yeah,
pouncing on
he
people and
was
shit.
pouncing and like and he did a legit pounce from one car to another. And like oh my god, you know when he scratched like Captain America's shield and like he left a massive mark on the
Oh
shield
yeah, he fucked that
because he's
shit.
got the vibranium claws. Also, like let's not forget to mention the entire character. Like this was almost a prelude to a Black Panther movie. How did they manage to do so much in this? You know what I mean? It was a Black Panther movie at the same time. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
they managed to do origin stories for certain characters without disrupting the
it was
film, the
so
pacing.
good. And the whole
Yeah.
thing with Black Panther and like his father kind of being caught in the explosion and him blaming Bucky. and then pretty much that's the reason he's on Team Iron Man and he's fighting and everything. Also, like I like the fact that Black Panther's character is so serious. Like I mean,
Oh
like
yeah, yeah,
whenever he's talking to people, like he doesn't do that thing where he has like the little cool Marvel jokes where it's
yeah. He
like I
not
remember,
joking. Yeah.
like I remember, like he was fighting Hawkeye, and on Hawkeye's like, "Hey man, my name's Clint," and then like that nigga's like, "I don't care," and I'm like, "Damn, Wakanda don't play no
He
games."
don't play no. He like he. I mean he's like a king, and he's it shows on the screen. He's acting like a king, and I love how they did
Yeah,
that shit.
yeah.
Like he acts
Oh
like
my
somebody
god.
that doesn't belong there. Like he acts like somebody that's above all this fighting, and he's on a mission, and you can definitely see that. I love that
Yeah,
part.
like yeah, you can tell that he has places to be, but he's only here because he needs to be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, like as soon as he doesn't need to be there, he's gone. And like, and let's talk about the mid credit scene with him. Like, I like the fact that he finds out that it was kind of Zemo the entire time. You know what I mean?
Uh huh.
And like, Bucky didn't necessarily have anything to do with the fact that his father got killed.
Yeah, I like
Uh,
how rational he is. Like he acts like a king. Like he discovers it and he stops trying to kill the fucking Bucky.
Because
So
everyone, because it's not like there's a shortage of people trying to kill Bucky. Everyone that grab wants to kill Bucky. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's just like, anyway, I mean, my thing with Black Panther is they've done like the like it's not very difficult to necessarily like figure out how you're gonna do Spider Man a little bit differently because there's so many templates that you have out there. You know
Uh
what I
huh.
mean? But like when it comes to doing a character like Black Panther, there's no one, and I mean no one like him in any of the Marvel movies or any of the superhero movies that we've ever seen. He's an African hero that fights like a feline that moves completely differently from anybody else, and like the fact that they had to create all of these things just to have him featured in this movie is amazing, and they've done such a good job with him, such a good job.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Also, like if you didn't know this, was like they actually got Ryan Coogler involved to write his character in this movie for some of it, like some of the dialogue and some of like the things that he does, just to make sure that when he does end up doing like the Black Panther movie, that it's kind of a seamless transition. So that's why they had Ryan Coogler involved in this movie.
Oh, I didn't even know that. That's good information.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Let's move on to the